What's going on, the copywriting culture? Boy Loso 2.0, the copy god himself. Taking myself to work right now. Ooh, it's a beautiful day outside. I can tell you that much for a fact. Hope you guys are enjoying this nice weather today. I'm still gonna get me a nice little workout in today. It's 4th of July, which I'm not really too keen on, or anything like that. But yeah, let's get started today. So today we're going to talk about how you can actually get paid from anything, okay? And when I mean anything, I mean anything. Me and my friend Kyrie were just talking about this, right? There's some guy, I think on TikTok, who he makes like, there's some guy on TikTok, hold on, let me get this stuff together, I got all this crap on here. Just this guy on TikTok who makes money from wearing a freaking fox mask and running around in a fox mask. Like, first of all, that's just crazy weird. Secondly, though, yeah, he literally just gets paid from that. And it's like, you can get paid from anything. Like I said, you just need to find like some type of hobby, do what you love, and you can find a way to get paid from it. And I'm gonna give you a couple ways to do that in here. You just need, the only thing that you're missing are top-notch marketing tips, because once you learn the skill of marketing, you can basically do anything, honestly, once you learn the skill of marketing, because marketing is not really the skill of marketing. It's really human psychology, because that's all it is. That's what makes people successful. That's what separates some successful people from the not successful people, right? And it's their ability to have, it's their ability to actually, get people to do what they want, because they're in their psychology, or they're learning their psychology, because they understand humans. Okay, once you understand humans, you can do a lot of things, and you just got to get creative. That's it. Like I say, all it takes is creativity and understanding human psychology in order to get paid with your stuff. So, okay, let's get started, right? You can get paid from any of your endeavors, any of your hobbies, strictly by allowing others to leverage your audience. Something that simple. Literally something that simple. And what is leverage? It's hard to explain, but it's just like leverage makes your life easier, right? It allows you to do certain things that you couldn't do by yourself or couldn't do without having it. Excuse me. So that's what leverage is, right? So you allowing these people to use your audience, people will pay millions for this, especially depending on your level that you're getting to. And I'm gonna get to that point right now, right? But when they do that, they may steal some of your customers. It's the fact that they may steal some of your customers, but the thing is, though, with stealing some of your customers, though, you also get to steal some of theirs, and you both are going to grow together, because you're leveraging their audience, they're leveraging your audience, and both of you guys are going up together. Okay, so let's get started, right? That's how podcasts make money. That's why podcasts have grown so much in the past, because the ones that have a bigger audience, the ones that are growing so much, they're getting paid. Even I get paid for my podcast, and right now I'm growing my established listeners. But even with my podcast growing with established listeners, I still get paid like something like 1 cent every time somebody listens to it, right? Because I'm getting paid by ads. That's what it is, because they know that you have influence, right, in what you do. So when you get influenced by just sharing your word, speaking your word, this is why it's good to post on these different platforms and leverage these platforms. When you leverage these platforms, like I said, they're going to be able to see like, oh, they have more guidance, they have more views, they have more followers that will listen to what they have to say. Here, let me pay you millions of dollars or thousands of dollars just for you to shout my stuff out on your podcast and see if it brings in customers. Now, it's not a sure way to figure out. There are different ways that you could try to measure whether or not your stuff is coming from their podcast. There's different ways to do that, such as like There's different ways to do that, such as you can like have a survey, right? Or then when a customer comes over, it can be like, how did you hear about my stuff? Did you hear from this podcast? Did you hear from here? Did you hear from there? And then you could kind of like survey it out and see where people are coming from. But like, there's not no sure way to do it, just like getting a commercial, but it still does help a lot, right? Because like I said, it's kind of that idea of joint ventures again. You're growing your business and you're leveraging their audience to grow. At the same time, they're leveraging your audience to grow. And you're going to steal some of their customers too, because they're going to say, hey, listen, let's check this podcast out where I'm shouted out about my da-da-da-da-da. And then people are going to start listening to their podcast and then may start buying some of their products. But then at the same time, they're also buying his products or her products because you shouted them out on theirs too as well. You see how joint ventures are so powerful? Two different people, two different audiences, telling these two different audiences to, go to the other person, and by each other doing that, they're both growing together. That's how easy it is. That's how simple it is. I'm telling you, these joint ventures definitely are, and I'm gonna continue to talk about joint ventures once a week because you're gonna know the power of them. But that's really how to get paid from these podcasts, right? You get to say your word, like I said, and then people do it, and they may steal some of your audience, but that's just what it is. You know what this is called these days? Influencers. These are what influencers are. They are people who get a large following and then shout products and services out. That's literally what influencers are. It can be, and it doesn't have to be, generally though, you want it to be something that kind of has to do with your podcast, but sometimes it really doesn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I mean by y'all gonna steal each other's audience, because a lot of times, like, it's gonna be the same competition. For example, a copywriter may be like, hey, can you shout my copywriting out on your podcast? Okay, well, I'm a copywriter too, but I don't do it. It makes sense because that's what I talk about. Or maybe like a coach or relationship, coach or whatever, saying like, oh, can you shout my stuff out? I talk about that stuff on my podcast, so do it. So things I may not shout out are like, I don't know, girls lingerie on my podcast. Like, why would I talk about girls lingerie when I have nothing I'm talking about on my podcast has to do with it? Although I could do it, it just makes more sense for me not to do something like that. Maybe I could talk about men's basketball shoes or men's basketball shirts or something like that along those lines, but nothing like that. And that's what I mean by when you grow a big following, you're able to do. That's what influencers do. This is why you get paid. So this is why YouTube is willing to pay people for stuff. This is why Anchor is willing to pay people for stuff, because they know the power of, people watching their stuff. And then that's when they can get people to sign up for different things too, like YouTube Red or, different types of ads and stuff like that. Because when you get those ads, that's when you grow. That's the point I'm trying to get across, though. This is how you can get paid from pretty much doing anything. So think about what your hobby is, right? Think about what you love doing. It can be anything, I swear to you not. My sister, she crochets. I'm going to say crochets. I'm going to say croissant, man. She crochets. She could make videos on how to crochet. She does that little stuff right there. Boom, she can get paid from that. People actually buying her products, but at the same time, people also, watching, and then other people who crochet may be like, oh, let me shout you out, or can I get a shout out and I pay you this, or can you do this and that, you know what I mean? Excuse me. That's one thing. My wife, hair. You could do it the same thing with hair. I know a D3 basketball player who does that stuff too, and he gets love from that too. You know what I mean? People making beats. Like I said, dude walks around in a fox mask. That's the weirdest thing I ever heard of, but he still can get paid. He still gets paid from that stuff. You know what I mean? One dude is trying to get paid from Drake trying to talk to his girl. That's what I'm saying. It's really anything that you can get paid for these days, man. You just got to learn how to get these top-notch marketing ideas and tips and then grow your business. That's all I'm saying, right? So I don't know about you. What podcast would you love to be, shouted out on or put on? Think about that, and think about how much you're willing to pay to put yourself on there, and knowing the type of views you're going to get, know the type of growth you're going to receive just from certain celebrities shouting your stuff out. I don't know. It's definitely something to think about, like I said, man. Just keep killing the day, and remember, you prayed for marketing like this. Copy God out.